Hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liv. I am a Colorado makeup artist and I love everything related to makeup and beauty. My job is to make you feel as beautiful on the outside as you are on the inside. I love trying new products, discussing makeup, and sharing all of the tips and tricks that I have learned throughout my own journey. Today I wanted to discuss a topic because I've heard quite a few questions about it, and I just kind of want to do a tutorial on the difference between natural makeup versus no makeup makeup. So today I'm going to show you what natural versus no makeup makeup looks like. I'm going to start with natural makeup because it's typically my go-to type of everyday look. It's what I prefer, it's what I like. And then we will hop into what no makeup makeup looks like. Before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to ring the bell and you'll be notified every time I post a video. So let's get started. Before I get into the makeup, I do want to let you all know that I did launch my website. I actually launched it like a whole 10 days earlier than I expected, so it is live. It is a little card on like my main screen up in the corner, like in the banner. There's the website, TikTok, and Instagram. I think you can just click those 3 buttons, but it's live, so go ahead and check it out. I would love your support. But let's jump into natural makeup, because there is a difference between natural makeup versus no makeup makeup. From what I have experienced is that there are a lot of questions between the two, and that some people don't think there is a difference, or some people are like, that's not natural makeup because it is wearing quite a bit of makeup, versus that is no makeup makeup because you're hardly wearing any makeup, which is correct. Makeup is also about expressing yourself, so you can definitely do natural makeup in a more no makeup type of way, or you can do natural makeup and wear a lot of makeup. It's definitely your choice. So I'm just going to show you how I do natural makeup my way because it's typically my everyday type of vibe. I did go ahead and use my primer. This is from Milk. It's the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. I wore it all summer and I'm still really enjoying it. I did miss a couple videos, so I am going to be using some of the products I've been trying out from my Sephora haul from their holiday sales event. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. I am in the shade Fair 4, and I'm actually not a huge fan of the powder, but I do like the cream foundation. So I am pretty proud of myself. I did order this foundation online, and I have to say that's like a pretty darn good shade match. So from a foundation standpoint on natural makeup, typically it doesn't mean a super full coverage type of foundation. It typically means light to medium type of coverage. However, if you do want to do natural makeup and wear a full coverage foundation, that is totally okay. You can do that. I would say this particular foundation is medium buildable because I definitely have rosy cheeks and I like to cover it. So that is typically my vibe, is medium towards a fuller coverage. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with using a lighter coverage tinted moisturizer or a lighter coverage foundation where your redness does peek through, or you have blemishes that peek through. Like obviously I've got one right smack dab in the middle of my forehead. I'm not going to be able to fully cover that, and I'm okay with that. I could, but it's not really what I'm going for today. I'm going to let my foundation cover as much as it can and move on. I have gotten to try this foundation out a few times, but I will have a full review of like my final thoughts towards the end of the month for all of the products that I purchased during that Sephora sale. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of products, but I do have a few good ones that have caught my attention so far. Next up is concealer. You can choose to not wear concealer, or you can. I tend to have a bit of bluish under my eyes, so I do like to cover it. This Huda Beauty concealer is another product I purchased from the Sephora sale, and I have to say it's in the top 2 of my favorites. I like to blend my concealer out with a brush first, a concealer brush first. And then when I go to set my concealer, I will buff it out just one more time with a sponge. That way I don't set any creases. The other thing about concealer is that if you choose not to wear a super full coverage foundation, you can just spot conceal. Like I can take some of that concealer and put it over the blemish in my forehead, and you can get a little more coverage that way. If you don't want a full coverage effect everywhere, you can just spot conceal. So I like to take some of my Huda Beauty powder and just set under my eyes because I do like to use a cream bronzer. So I just do it right under my eye just to set so I don't get any creases right there. Next I go into my cream bronzer. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is probably my most used cream bronzer ever. I don't know why it's stuck in my routine so intensely compared to the other cream bronzers that I've tried, but it is definitely a good one. Cream products tend to be a little more user friendly too with those with drier skin types. However, if you do have oily skin, that is totally okay. I tend to lean oily as well, and I still really enjoy this cream bronzer. The big thing about using cream products with oily skin is just making sure that you set it. And even though it's natural makeup, I even like to add a little bit of warmth on my nose. And I just use my bronzer to do that. It's not hardcore contouring. I would definitely wouldn't contour for natural makeup, but I mean, if you do, that's totally fine. It's not like against makeup rules, but I would think that would lean a little bit more towards like full glam type of makeup. And if you get a little wild with your cream products, you can always use your sponge, which I had a little bit of foundation left over on, and just kind of tone it down. And then because I do have oily skin and I'm not using any more cream products, I am going to set the rest of my face with my Huda Beauty powder. And then I do take my sponge and just go over my whole face and pick up any of the excess powder. Sometimes I feel like I lose a little bit of the warmth from powdering from the cream bronzer, so I go in with a powder bronzer. This is totally a preference thing. You don't have to. If you're like, why would you use two bronzers? Just use one. But I like to use the powder one just to touch up a little bit more. I do like to add a little blush, and currently I'm in a phase where I like my blush to have a little bit of shine to it, so then I don't have to use a highlight. So I'm currently using the Nars Orgasm blush because it has kind of a golden sheen through it. So with the blush, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little bit of a golden sheen. So personally, I'm going to skip wearing highlight, but that doesn't mean you can't wear highlight to have a natural look. You can totally wear highlight and still have a natural look. I am just going to set my face with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I'm going to be applying my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This one happens to work really well for my hooded eyes, but it is mostly clear. So if you wanted a colored one, this would not be the one for you. I think a lot of the confusion of natural versus no makeup is because of eyeshadow, because you can obviously make very, very intense, glamorous type of eye looks with eyeshadow. But for a natural look for me, I'm going to be using my Patrick Ta Major Dimension 1 palette, and I like to mix these two shades, and I like to just place it all over. And once it's all over, then I will take the tip of my brush and just blend in circular motions. And it does give a little bit of dimension to your eye, but it doesn't look so overpowering that it looks unnatural. I know that there are quite a few people who like to just use their bronzer for this step, and that is totally awesome. And if you tend to only use your bronzer, it means you don't have to spend money on an eyeshadow palette, because bronzers can be a 2-in-1 type of deal. So if that's you, where you use your bronzer as eyeshadow, you're not doing anything wrong. You can totally leave your eye look like this. I like to take those same two colors and sweep a little under on my lower lash line, but that is a preference. You definitely don't have to. I tend to like shimmer, so even though I would consider this a very natural look for me, I am going to add a little bit of shimmer. This is the Smoke Reflex Topper in the shade Defiance. It's one of my favorites. And I just like to add a little bit on the eyelid. And I don't think it overpowers anything. It's a very natural, light glimmer. But it is definitely one of my favorite products to use. And basically, this is kind of the finished look. I'm going to add my brows and add some mascara. For lips, I like to use more of a pinky, nudish type of color. So one of my favorite colors is the Humble shade from Rare Beauty. This is the Kind Words lip liner. I think it's a really good universal shade that is flattering for everyone. And I went ahead and filled in my lips with this color too, because I'm just going to apply a gloss on top. This is from Buxom. It's one of their plumping lip glosses. I like the plumping effect. If you don't, that's totally fine. This is in the shade Cami Caramel. It's pinky with a bit of a goldish reflect in it, so I feel like it matches the gold reflect on my eyes and that Nars blush with the gold reflect in it. And this is my more natural type of look. But let me be clear, natural doesn't have to mean brown, warm tones, pinks, pink lip. I have a mantra for my business that I really stand by, and it's called be natural, be beautiful, and be you. Now, I don't mean natural as in you must wear brown for natural day looks. No, I mean be naturally you. There are a lot of natural type of looks that include pinks, purples, mauves, orange even, because people with blue eyes, orange is a really good alternate color from brown to make their eyes pop. So when I say natural, I don't necessarily mean brown. Yes, this is natural to me. This is my style of natural. If your style of natural is not like this, that's okay, and I support that. My purpose of this video today is just to give you an idea that natural doesn't mean no makeup. You can actually wear a lot of makeup, which today I've got on a good handful of products to make this a natural look, and that's okay. But if you do prefer using very few products, there is a no makeup type of look, and that is coming up now. First of all, don't mind my voice. I think I'm catching a little bit of a cold, but we're gonna power through. To begin my no makeup look, I actually go in with a tinted sunscreen. This is the Sunny Days sunscreen from Tower 28. I am in the shade 15 Melrose. And even though it is no makeup, I still like to be able to cover the redness in my cheeks, which the sunscreen definitely lets me do. And that's kind of how I apply it, and then I will blend it in with my fingers. Obviously it's a sunscreen, so there's not a whole lot of coverage. So you're still gonna see the acne that I have right in my forehead. But it does the job well enough. Like, it covers up the bluish under my eyes pretty good. Definitely tones down the redness in my cheeks. And the good part about blending it in with your fingers is that you don't have to use a sponge or a brush. From here, I will go ahead and set it. This is the Kosas Cloud Setting Powder. This is one of my favorite powders because it definitely doesn't look like you're wearing any sort of powder. If you have more dry skin, you might not have to. If you have oily skin like I do, you probably want to, because otherwise, I know for myself, this sunscreen will definitely kind of slip around throughout the day if it's not set. And this is just a translucent setting powder. This is in the shade Airy, which I believe is the lightest shade from this product. So it's not like I'm adding coverage, I'm just setting that tinted sunscreen. This part is your preference. I like to kind of do a 3-in-1 type of product. I like to take this blush from M Cosmetics. It's a Heaven's Glow blush in the shade Baroque, but it's got a sheen to it, which is a highlight. It's technically a blush, so it is a blush, but it's kind of a bronzy color shade, so I use it as a bronzer. So it's like a 3-in-1 for me. And I will actually use the same brush that I set my face with and apply this blush like I would apply my bronzer. This helps to add just a little bit of definition to the face, but it's not super overpowering. And if you're not into using a whole lot of products, it's only one product. Next, I'm going to do my brows and my mascara. So I'm just going to be using my Kosas Air Brow and then my Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. And then one of my favorite products to use, especially for a no makeup type of look, is the lip balm from Rare Beauty. I have the shade Nearly Apricot, and it does leave a little bit of a peachy color to the lips. But it is a lip balm, which is totally up my alley because I am such a chapstick type of person. This is by far one of my favorite products, especially for this type of look. And basically this is it. This is your no makeup type of style. At least for me it is. I do like to give a little bit of definitions to the cheeks, but other than that, this is basically it. Obviously, if you want to use more products to achieve a look like this, you can. I used 6 products to achieve this look. And depending on your skin type, you could probably only use 5, maybe 4 if you don't want to do something. But you can obviously use more products as well. But this is a no makeup style to me, where it's very fresh, it's clean, it just gives a touch of definition, and it definitely doesn't overpower anything. This look can also be considered natural as well. It's a no makeup natural type of look. So when you think of natural, I just want to clarify that there are a lot of different ways to achieve a natural look. Some natural looks can be with a lot of products. Some natural looks can be with very few products. It just depends on your vibe and how you want to achieve that kind of makeup style. I'm not here to tell you, yes, this is the specific way to do something, or no, you cannot use makeup in that way. Makeup is definitely a preference thing. It is meant to be your creative outlet. It can be therapeutic. It's however you want to use it. So if you want to wear a lot of makeup and still be very natural, you definitely can. If you don't want to wear a lot of makeup and you want to get it done like really quickly, it's achievable. It's just your preference and your style. And no matter how you do it, you are correct. So I hope this helps anybody who had questions about the difference between natural makeup versus no makeup. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It would mean so much to me. Don't forget to ring the bell and hit all on your notifications, and you will be notified every time I post. I am here twice a week, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. So in the meantime, be natural, be beautiful, and be you.